Sai Raama, thank you all so much for joining us for weekly group prayers. And instead of having our weekly study circle today, a very dear member of our Sai family, Dr. Pappu Sastry Uncle, has merged with Swami today. So instead of our weekly study circle, we'll be having a remembrance of him. So after the solo bhajan, there will be a 5-minute presentation on Sastry Uncle's life, followed by anyone who would like to share their condolences or any special memories they had with the Pappu Sastry Uncle. We'll go ahead and get started with 3 ohms. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashavastamam Jyestarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashunvannoti Sadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebirvajanivati Deenama Vitrayavatu Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatye Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Vargor Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Vargor Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargor Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Sathya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Sai Ramaya Vidmahe Atma Ramaya Dhimahi Tanno Baba Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hanuman Chalisa.
तुलसीदासकृत श्री हनुमान चालीसा प्रार्थना अतुलित बलधामां स्वर्णशैलाभदेहं धन्यवर्णकृशानां ज्ञानिनाम् अग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानां वानराणां रघुपति प्रियभक्तां वातजातं नमः गोष्पदीकृतवारासिं मस्कीकृतराक्षसं रामायण महामालारत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षान्तकम् श्रीरामभक्ताय हनुमते नमः। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुखुर सुधारी वरणौ रघुवर विमल यस जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिकै सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बलधामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुतना मा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कांचन वर्ण विराज सुवेश कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजे कांदे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबेको आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिहे दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जलावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाये श्री रघुवीर हरपुर लाये रघुपति के नहीं बहुत बड़ाई कहाँ भरत सम तुम प्रिय भाई सहस वदन तुम्हारो यस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिस यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कह सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव किन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलिमुख माही जल्दी लांगे गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे हो तो आज्ञा बिनु पैठारे सब सुकल है तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज संहारो आपे तीनों लोक हम कते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासई रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे तासु अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों युग प्रताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निखंडन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असवर दीना जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो तुम रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारो भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुपुत्र जाई जहाँ जन्म हरिभक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन दरई हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करई संकट हटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सिमरे हनुमत बलवीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई यह सतवार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साकी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा की जय नाद हृदय महडेरा की जय नाद हृदय महडेरा की जय नाद हृदय महडेरा दोहा पवन तनया संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभु जय श्री राम दुर्गा सूक्तम ओम जात वेद से सुनवाम सोम मराति यतो निदहाति वेदः सन पर्षदति दुर्गानि विश्वानावेव सिन्धुं दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसि तरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गानि विश्वा पूश्च पृथ्वी बहुलानभुर्वी भवतोकाय तनयाय संयोः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुन्ननावादुरितातिपर्षि अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानो स्माकं बोध्यविता तनूनाम् पृतनाजितगुं सहमानमुग्रमग्निगुं हुवेम परमात्सदस्तात् स नः पर्षदति दुर्गानि विश्वाक्षामद्देवो अतिदुरितात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषि कमेड्यो अध्वरेषु सनाश्च होत नव्यश्च सत्सि स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्वास्मभ्यञ्च सौभगमाय जस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयजोनिषिक्तं तवेन्द्र विष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमभिसंवसानो वैष्णवीं लोक इह मादयन्ताम् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः क्षमा प्रार्थना ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यदा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ओं तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति
Sai Ram. So first we'll be having Jayanti Aunty render a solo bhajan, and followed by that we'll be having a short presentation on Pappu Sastry Uncle's life, followed by Pappu Sastry Uncle's daughters, Padmaja, Sastry, share speak on her father, followed by, the floor will be open for anyone to share their condolences and any experiences or lessons they learned from Pappu Sastry Uncle. Sai Ram.
Sai Raama. शिव शिव शंभो तांडव प्रियकर 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 भव भय भैरव भवानी शंकर भव भव भैरव भवानी शंकर भव भय भैरव भवानी शंकर भव भय भैरव भवानी शंकर शिव शिव शंभो तांडव प्रियकर शिव शिव शंभो तांडव प्रियकर हर हर बम बम बोल महेश्वर 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 डम डम डमरू नटन मनोहर 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 सत्यं शिवं साई सुंदरम सत्यं शिवं साई सुंदरम सत्यं शिवं साई सुंदरम सत्यं शिवं साई सुंदरम शिव शिव शंभो तांडव प्रियकर शिव शिव शंभो तांडव प्रियकर भव भय भैरव भवानी शंकर भव भय भैरव भवानी शंकर शिव शिव शंभो तांडव प्रियकर शिव शिव शंभो तांडव प्रियकर हर हर बम बम बोल महेश्वर हर हर बम बम बोल महेश्वर डम डम डमरू नटन मनोहर डम डम डमरू नटन मनोहर सत्यं शिवं साई सुंदरम सत्यं शिवं साई सुंदरम सत्यं शिवं साई सुंदरम सत्यं शिवं साई सुंदरम शिव शिव शंभो तांडव प्रियकर.
Sai Ram, that was such a wonderful bhajan, Jayanti Auntie and Mon Uncle. Thank you so much for rendering such a wonderful bhajan. And now we'll be moving on to the short presentation about Pappu Sastry Uncle's life. So it's in remembrance of Dr. Pappu Sastry Uncle, who has merged with Swami today morning around 11:15 a.m. Central Time in Wichita, Kansas. So this first slide will be covering the highlights of Sastry Uncle's life. So he was born in November 14th, 1932 in a small town near Vijayanagaram, Andhra Pradesh. And then he actually earned a Doctor of Science in Physics from Andhra University in Visakhapatnam. And then he also he was entirely in the field of physics, so he did research in solid state physics at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign and also Tufts University near Boston, Massachusetts. And then he went back to India, where he retired as a senior faculty in the Electrical Communications Engineering Department at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And since he was in the academia field, he also published over 100 papers in international journals covering solid state physics, material science, lasers, and holography. And after retirement, he resided in Wichita, Kansas with his daughter's family for the past many years. So moving on to the next slide. So we'll be covering, Sastry Uncle's service to the Sai mission. So he's served at Swami's Lotus feet daily from 1979 to 1988 at the Brindavan Ashram in Whitefield, Bangalore, and as well as Prashanti Nilayam in Puttaparthi. And he also was the member of the governing council during the establishment of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning at the Brindavan and Prashanti Nilayam campuses, where he had also primary oversight of the science department. And he was also personally, he was instructed by Swami to establish the concept of study circle for devotees worldwide, which is a practice that continues today as a core weekly activities at Sai Centers across the globe. And then when it comes to the Kansas Sai Center, he was the guiding force for our weekly study circles. And during that time, he would be sharing his numerous personal experiences with Swami. And he would very lovingly guide us all on how to lead a righteous life by being grounded in Swami's teachings. So moving on to the next slide is the condolences messages from some of the national USA Sai organization officers. So the first one we have here is from a brother, Dr. Balu Karnam, our national president, who's based in Auburn, Alabama. He said, sorry to hear about his loss. Please convey my deepest condolences to his family. And then the next one we have Dr. Durjati Mudigonda, who is our national devotional coordinator based in Columbus, Ohio. He said he was a great devotee and inspired many. I was fortunate to have heard him in the past at Bharti. And then next year we have Brother Giridhar Jidagunta, who is our national service coordinator based in West Palm Beach, Florida. He said, such a noble soul, wonderful person. We had the fortune to his participation in the study circles every week, just like you did for the past several years. He will always be remembered. May his beautiful soul merge with the divine. So on this next slide, we'll be covering a couple of messages from Sai alumni as well as ardent Sai devotees. So there was this one message from Brother Sai Manikam, who's based in Raleigh, North Carolina. He said, very sorry to hear he has attained Swami's Sannidhi. Our prayers for the soul to rest in peace. And then this message below is from Sister Sarojini and Brother Shyam Kanagala from Dallas, Texas. He has done so much of divine selfless work. Our heartfelt condolences to Uncle's family. May his spirit continue to guide us. So with that, we would like to, before we open up the floor for everyone to share a few words or express their condolences for Pappu Sastry Uncle, we would first like, Padmaja, Sister Padmaja Sastry to share, some words on her father, Sai Raama Padmaja Auntie.
Sai Raama, everyone.
Sai Raama.
I don't know what to say because I'm still in shock, but all I can say is he's now in peace. He's away from the pain of his illness, and he went in peace. He's passed away in his sleep. And he enjoyed joining your study circle sessions. Even though he was not feeling well, he would say that he wanted to join the study circle. Especially last week when I told him, I put my foot down and I told him that he cannot join any study circle sessions. He needs to rest. He told me, please, Ma, I want to go and join. So I said, okay. But then unfortunately, his health deteriorated, so he didn't join any of the study circle sessions last week. But he loved everyone and he enjoyed the sessions you had, and he looked forward to it every week. And we're going to miss him dearly, but like I said, he's at peace, no more suffering, and he's with Swami, and then he's with my two boys, so now they get to enjoy his company. Sai Raama.
Sai Raama Padmaja, thank you so much for sharing those wonderful words on your father. He's been such a wonderful guiding force for us all, and we'll all truly miss him a lot, but he will always be there to guide us eternally. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now we will open up the floor for anyone that would like to share a few words on Sastry Uncle. So if anyone wants to share anything, please feel free to unmute.
Hey, this is Suresh Mistankar from North Carolina.
Sai Raama, cool.
Sai Ram, I first met him in '93 at Chuck's place in St. Louis. And I still remember vividly my first meeting because I sang one bhajan, this one. Sai Sathya Sai Mahadeva. And after that, he came and he said, "Oh, I love that bhajan very much." And he started telling me his experience about in Shivratri, when that bhajan was sang and he was in Parthi. Most of you probably know that the labs which are now in the Brindavan, in the Whitefield, he was in charge of building it, all the labs, because Swami has given him in charge. And then in '94, I moved to North Carolina and I was the president of the Raleigh Center. And we had a retreat in the Blue Ridge Mountain. And I said, who else can be a speaker? And I called him and he agreed to come here. And he came, he stayed with me. And then we drove to the Blue Ridge Mountain and he gave his experiences were just phenomenal. I mean, it was so touching. I mean, of course, everyone has their experience, but his experience with Swami, they were, I mean, Swami used to call him Pappu and his wife, Swami used to call him Uppu. And they were so close. They were more or less like a friends. And as a scientist, he was an amazing scientist. As a physicist, he has come to here, one of the top University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. And as on the spiritual side, particularly in the study circle, his knowledge was so profound, and he always shared with us. It was really fun to listen to him, particularly when I was in St. Louis. Every time study circle used to be there, he will explain it such a nice way, and then he will put his personal experiences and his contact to Swami to explain it. So I really, really enjoyed it. As his daughter said, uh, you know, the moment you are born, the expiration date is written on all of us. It may be some years from now, from some of us, some decades from now, from others, but one day we have to go and merge him. The one thing people will remember is how you treated your fellow human being when you are in his presence. And if I grade Pappu Uncle in that one, he will come at a very high on the chart. So we really miss him on the physical body, but at the end of the day, he is at peace. Thank you.
Sai Raama, thank you so much, Suresh Uncle, for sharing those wonderful words on Pappu Sastry Uncle. Let's see. I see Giridhar Uncle is also on the call. Sai Raama, Giridhar Uncle, would you like to share a few words?
Hello, Sai Raama. I'm driving right now, so I apologize for any road noise. First of all, my sincere condolences to Sister Pathaja. So glad to hear the words from everybody. Very touching. Couldn't agree more. Most importantly, what I wanted to just say is we're all connected by a common thread, which is Swami's love. And if there is another thread that connects us, that is Dr. Pappu Sastry. So many lives that he touched with his very simple and easy to understand way of conveying most complex spiritual matters. He was not a hugely religious person the way we understood him, but deeply spiritual and practical spirituality. If there is anything like that, that is totally him. We're going to miss him, but his love, his knowledge, and the way he interacted with everybody, that's going to remain forever in our minds. Sai Ram, take you.
Sai Raama, Giridhar Uncle, thank you so much for your wonderful words.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. And let's see, let me look on, I'm seeing, oh, I see Seema, Auntie, you unmuted, Sai Ram.
Very to hear that Uncle left at the same time that Naja said that he's in peace, he's not suffering. And like Swami says, that the day we're born, you know, we come with two-way ticket and it's already destined for his soul to rest. And about Sastry Uncle, never met him physically. Many years ago, it was in 2005 to 2006, around that time, when my spiritual journey was very intense and I was looking for guidance. I remember a moment that I was driving and I was into that state that I just don't want to live. I just want to go to Puttaparthi and live with Swami. I didn't know what to do. And at that time we had this little Nokia phone and somehow got connected with Uncle through, I think, sister Uma. But and I called her and he said, I cannot help you. You call Uncle Pappu. And then so I called him and I said, Uncle, I don't know. I just need, you just have to save me. Otherwise, I'm driving. Something's going to happen to me. And he said, just breathe. Let me tell you something. And then still remember his words. And those mantra he gave me has been password for my life in my spiritual journey. How simple he made the whole sadhana. He said that, okay, I'm going to tell you these few words and you keep telling this and you visualize it and you bring that feeling and then it will be okay. And what is that? I just want to go to Puttaparthi. I just want to go to stay with Swami. So, okay, yourself that I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm divine. You and I are one. And he repeatedly asked me to do this the entire time I was driving until I got home. I was in total peace and I said, thank you, Uncle. And I even wrote a song with that and I recorded that. It's in YouTube. So even these days when I, with the separation comes between Swami and I remember Uncle's word. Anyway, not only that, any kind of spiritual questions came along at that time. My children were little. They're like 4 or 5-year-old, and they would ask all these difficult questions. And then I said, I don't know how to answer that. I'm like, okay, Uncle Pappu. So I would call him. So like that, each time I had any kind of question that, or I could not answer somebody else's questions regarding spirituality, I would call him and he would answer. And then anyway, so his memories will be lived in our heart forever and definitely will miss him. And I was blessed to reconnect with him, I think about a year ago, and talk to him and memorize those beautiful memories and his message that he gave. And he will always be with us, and his okay.
Sai Ram, thank you so much, Seema Auntie, for sharing your wonderful words.
Sai Raama.
Sai
Yeah,
Ram,
he's our messenger and he's our Sukhamunindra and he's a great soul. We were talking about that in the last or previous study circle about Sastry Uncle ji explaining about Jesus Christ and how he's a messenger to the world. So we were talking about him. Sastry Uncle ji is the messenger for us that Baba sent us here. And he has an in-depth knowledge of all the, Vedic scriptures. You name Ramayana, Bharata, Bhagavad Gita, all those, and then he gives such a beautiful, easy to understand examples to uh, uh, for the audience to understand the situations when he's explaining his experiences with Babaji and all that. He's such a great soul. Yeah, we're going to miss him. Thank you, Sai Raama.
Sai Raama, thank you so much, Venkat Uncle, for sharing your wonderful thoughts. Let's see. I see Murli Uncle is on the line. Would you like to share a few words on Sastry Uncle? Sai Raama.
Sai Ram, this is Murali Ekirala from New Jersey. We were earlier in Minneapolis along with Chandraji and Uma. I think we had the privilege of meeting Pappu Sastry Uncle. And the way he used to present the spiritual principles in a very practical way, so that it is scientific and spiritual at the same time. And the way he impacted many lives, as many people have shared just now. He impacted very many lives. And actually, I didn't know that he was the person who actually started the study circle format when Swami asked him to start the initiative. And when he mentioned that when across 165 countries, across so many hundreds of centers and bhajan mandals, when study circles are happening, I think the soul of Pappu Sastry Uncle will be physically present, blessing all of us. And even though he is in the divine presence of Bhagawan, Baba, and merged in his lotus feet, along with Swami, Pappu Sastry Uncle also will be participating in study circles, blessing us, guiding us, and providing us with thought currents. We miss him, but he's eternal, and his sayings, his guidance, his blessings will always be felt by generations to come also. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Sai Raama, thank you so much for sharing those wonderful words. I see Shaker Taluri has unmuted. Please feel free to share a few words. We're not able to. Okay, I think we can hear you now. Okay.
Okay. My name is Madhavi Taluri. We are from West Palm Beach. My husband, Shaker Taluri, and I, along with our center, giving our condolences to Sister Sathya. Our association with Pappuji was since 2020, and we are at this center. We have chatted. And some of our Chattanooga members also Pappuji, and they were very happy when I was joining us at our study circle. One thing I wanted to tell all, just my husband reminded me, I think when it was in 2021, I have asked G to give us a talk about happening. I think celebrations. It was good, and then I have emailed him, asked him a topic that you wanted to talk, and then he said, "I never get." And Baba always said, just say a few words, and then here he is with the mic talking about so many things that it's unimaginable for anybody. It's so much knowledge with him. And I think Baba has said that Yeah, my husband would say that it is in Telugu, so just one sentence.
Sai Raama, study cycle discussions, recap. Shame. Swami used to call him, remember, Swami, tell him, Pappu. So that's one thing. So that's the reason I contest. So Sai talks about he was so versatile discussions were to make counts sim sound distinction study see
Sai Raama, the voice is kind of breaking up. Would you be able to bring it a bit closer?
Yeah. Last introduction we had was this year, and the first gathering we had this year. Wished them happy and wished all of them happy. Really going to send a study circle discussions. It's been a wealth of knowledge. It's a guide, it's a friend, it's a dear. Sarah.
Sai Raama, thank you so much for sharing both of your wonderful thoughts. I see Umanti has unmuted. Sai Raama, Umanti.
Sai Ram, this is Chandra and Uma from Minneapolis. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Sai Ram, at the very outset, our profound, heartfelt, deepest condolences to Padmaja and her family. And I know we will be really physically missing Uncle so much. But on the other hand, I think the kind of the golden nuggets which he has given, while we always, of course, listen to Swami for the messages, but some of these associations, like we had been associated since year 2000, roughly, when we met first time Uncle Sastry in Chicago retreat. And then we had the fortune of having him at our home in 2000 and 2002 and 2004. In 2004, he came for an amazing Guru Purnima session where he visited us for 9 nights. It was like a Navaratri. And there's a lot to talk about on those topics, actually, but I want to keep it brief, though. But he has given the first thing which Uncle said when he walked into our home, getting through the garage, two profound things he told. Like, while he could talk so esoteric and Brahman and other things and atomic physics, which is way beyond my comprehension, but he is also so practical and communicating to the ground level so that we can imbibe the values and the other things which he had conveyed. The first thing he said, put his foot in the home. He said, would you like to be in kindergarten or would you like to grow? So if you are willing to grow, if you're willing to listen, then I can come in. Otherwise, I have a return ticket. I can go back. So it was a profound entry into our home. And then amazing thing which has happened is the next thing which he told, you have to, one of the nights, I think, because he stayed 9 nights, and he said he used to have these one-on-one conversations with Uma, my wife, in the morning with a cup of coffee for him. And he wrote so many beautiful letters and messages for our daughter, and she would call Tata to him, and she had an amazing connection with him. And one thing which he told me, looking at, you have to unburden yourself in the life. That's one of the messages which I can never forget of Uncle. And he said, how do you unburden? Well, there's a lot to talk about it, but start with your garage. That's what he said. And during the time, whatever our garage was filled up, I said that you start slowly, one by one, reduce your, desires, your belongings, your attachments. So I think there was a lot more profound meaning behind that statement. But I always wonder, ever since he told me, my garage actually grew 2 to 3 times more. And that was something which I can never forget. And the time when Swami physically left, around that time when we were in the parking lot, we were totally grief stricken, and we were contemplating in understanding what is this life about and what is really God. How did Swami disappear, all those things, and he was there to hold our hands. We spoke for 1 hour on that day. I remember he told about the divinity and the Swami's cosmic presence and all that, which was just a mind-boggling thing. And later on, we had so many letters, so much of interactions, but we would always have this two prong. One is we would feel so comfortable, like as my daughter would call him tata, and my wife would call him dad. So we will feel that. And on the other hand, I will dread to talk to him because his level of seriousness in the topic of Swami was at a different category. And always we had this inhibition of how do I break the ice kind of thing, as Sister Seema was talking about and other brother was talking about. There was Swami, this main medium, but this is another thing. I remember another statement where he had amazing Parthi experiences, which he would talk about, and how he played the game with Swami by being mute. And he also and he had this amazing thing like monumental patience. He used to call the word monumental patience. He would totally keep his mouth shut during those amazing council meetings, and then he would come back and say, then are you done? Can I talk? That's how uncle would be so eloquently putting those things. And I have to, at least if I could even learn 1% of what he has conveyed. So the last time we spoke, I think like we saw him was when we went to Wichita, drove with Brother Shiva, and we all went there, and we spent one night there and did meet him at his home with Padmaja's fantastic cooking and all that. So during the time we had the interaction, I think after that, we had spoken several times and emails and all that. And maybe during the time 2-3 years back, I believe 2022 or something, when during his birthday or something like that, when Sister Lakshmi invited us to the call, we did have a chance to talk to him. And later on also, once we had a phone call conversation. But I had been longing, and this is one woe which I have. How come I did not speak to him in this last 6 to 12 months was the one. But then I said, he is there at that side. I mean, he's with Swami. We have so much love, reverence, and like the golden nuggets messages, which we have to really put them in practice. So Sister Padma, I know Swami is always watching, and so is now Uncle merged with him. So he's always there to bless us. So it's an amazing experience in this life, journeying with all of you together. Sai Ram.
Can I say something here for a second, please?
Absolutely.
My dad's student who lives in California, he came to visit us 2 days ago. He's planning to write a book or collect all of Dad's speeches, and he's planning to make a book. So my request is, if you all have any recordings of his speeches or writings, if you could send it to Lakshmi or to me, I'll be greatly appreciated, so I can forward it to him, or I can give you his phone number and you can connect with him. So let Lakshmi know if you have anything, and then she can give you his number, and you can email it to him or give it to Lakshmi, and she can pass it on to him. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sure, sister.
Sure, Padmaja sister. Thank you. And I see Sridhar and Uncle. Would you like to share a few words, Sai Ram? Let's see. It looks like you would need to unmute, Sai Raama. Hey, Sai Raama, I think we can hear you now.
Yeah. Yes. So it's a, and it's everyone has to go through this type of phase, especially when we are moving with our elders, and we have learned a lot from him. And as a Sai student, when I attended first time summer course there, I did came to know about him in Whitefield in 1977, and after that also. And then many of the Sai students, they keep talking about him, how he has been guiding the Sai students when they were having some questions in the Whitefield when they were studying. So he has been always guiding wherever he was, whether he was in India or when he came here. And also I attended a few of the satsangs earlier. That time I had an interaction. I could hear him during the study circles. So I cherish his wonderful experiences he has got with Swami, and that is those things I just heard from someone that they may be bringing it up as a, a book form or something. If that is there, definitely I would like to have access to it when if possible. So it will be like a reference material for everyone, definitely, because the people's life incidents, they are always guiding, like a guiding post. We can use it, guidelines. Whenever we are in trouble, we can always go back to those and then get some new insights of how to tackle the so-called problems we are facing at this moment. So I'm sure he is already merged with Swami, and then it is all ordained by Swami. And also I assume I overheard that he has a peaceful end. It is not and also his age wise, he is well, he has been well taken care by his family, I hear. So I keep my prayers to Swami that Swami, along with Swami, he also guide us in all our study circles, even in our Sai Centers here in the Houston study circle time. Sometime I give reference about Pappu Uncle whenever it helps a lot to bring in a point which Swami has taught to me through him, through my interaction with him. So it's difficult to go through this time of separation, but after a few weeks or so, we have to reconcile, and then we have to live the teachings or whatever lessons we learn from them in our interaction. Let us keep remembering, and then we should move forward in our spiritual journey. Sai Ram.
Sai Raama, that was very well said, Sridhar Uncle. Thank you so much for sharing such wonderful thoughts and your experience with Sastry Uncle, Sai Raama. Let's see. Oh, and then I remembered Omanti. Would you like to share a few thoughts? I think you were about to talk.
No. My husband already shared, Kanna. We are good.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if you want to share a few words, that's fine too, because I know you had a lot of experiences with Sastry Uncle as well.
Yeah, we both had the same experience. That's what Uncle shared. I know for me, he's a spiritual dad. I told Lakshmi today, I don't know whether today I can even speak because I am still feeling that, the nervousness in my heart. I know he's with Bhagawan, but I still miss him. As Chandra Uncle told I don't know why last few months I didn't speak to him. I was thinking I should talk to Uncle, but something did not happen. So today I was feeling so miserable. I don't know why I didn't even have a last word with him before he passed away. So, don't know. I can't share much today. Thank you.
I understand, Omanti. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sai Raama. Let's see. I see Hemanti is on the call. Would you like to share a few words on Sastry Uncle, Sai Raama? Or let's see. Let's see. Mohan Uncle, Jayanti Auntie, would you like to share a few words on Sastry Uncle, Sai Raama?
Sai Ram Karthik, thank you for this opportunity. And first of all, thank you for conveying the message to us. And we have been praying for Swami that, we should become the real followers of all Swami's teachings, as highlighted and as emphasized by Pappu Sastry Uncle. It's not just easy to, accept this news, but we reconcile and we remember now what he said, says human life is very precious, as Swami is told. And he emphasized that, and Swami, and again, just like we heard before from a brother recently, few minutes before, that, how long we should be in the kindergarten, we should grow up. And that's why Pappu Uncle always emphasized intensifying our sadhana. And he was an adorable soul, in the sense that he was very bold, he was very courageous, all because of his intense faith and understanding of Swami, And we really adored his honesty and integrity, and how he behaved himself, how he conducted himself when he was working under the service of Swami, when he was faculty and in charge of many of the projects, not just the courses and syllabus and classes, but the computer labs and things like that. But the study circle, I'm sure Lakshmi, Draga sister, will remember, and we all talked about it. We heard from him that how he, shared about the study circles were, formed and how they were conducted, how he was the pioneer, in the initiative. And I remember another thing that, he always mentioned repeatedly that, what we are, all of us are doing is not enough, in terms of our sadhana. So I think a good tribute would be to intensify our sadhana and to, transform ourselves, day by day, every day, that, and we should ask our own selves, every night before you sleep, ask, have we made any littlest progress, in spirituality? That should be a vital question every day that we should ask. And if we can make a little progress, and that will be the real tribute to Pappu Uncle. And we will dearly miss him. We will miss him. But as I remember that, I just want to narrate a few personal experiences with him. First of all, Pappu Uncle has come and visited our home. And that was the time when Swami's miracles happened in our home. And he came with Lakshmi Auntie in Detroit. And so the family came, and she was. There was a sharing about a family who was in very high distress and struggle. And Uncle kindly asked us, whether we will be willing to share some of the materialized Swami's, Shivalingam and things like that, and which we gladly did. After being asked by Uncle. And another thing was, I remember in Sister Falguna, home, there was a satsang and Pappu Uncle spoke. And he always put very difficult questions to the audience, in the sense that he always touched the areas that we never, even think about it, or hesitate to even, think about. That was the specialty of Uncle, I should say. See, he always pointed out the weaknesses and the deficiencies of all the devotees, all the sadhakas, all the seekers. And he always talked about his book, Meditations on God and Man. And I think all of us should read that book. It's a very profound book. I just glanced a few chapters. I just read a few little things here and there. But it's a beautiful book that everyone should, all of the seekers of Swami's devotees should read. And I think we should imbibe his thoughts on that, process. And he was always talking about the highest spirituality. He was talking about Brahman, and he was talking about who we are, how we can connect with Swami, how we should be devoted, how we should behave with other humans, and how we should celebrate festivals. It's just like Swami, how he repeatedly says, come every festival, we should think of our human values, remembering how we are fortunate to get the proximity of, Bhagawan, and so lucky that all Swami's devotees, that we should be the forerunners and models for the rest of the world in terms of how righteous living should be, performed. And, just like Swami always says, be good, do good, see good. Uncle always remembered, and he always reminded us to be the best that we can be, So I will let Jayanti start. Thank you for the opportunity, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, everyone. Sai Ram, Sister Padmaja, we are very, very sorry. And we felt very shocked when we heard the news. But you should be really proud to be a daughter to such a noble person. If you want to talk about Uncle, there are so many things. But before I go for that, I want to profusely thank Sister Lakshmi and Karthik. Only because of them, so Uncle was able to give a talk every Thursday, non-stop. And that too during the COVID time, I think it started. And it was kind of a boon for everybody every week that we were kept listening to him. And even after the COVID was over, it was so kind enough that beautiful family to conduct it. It was so sweet of Uncle to take part and share his knowledge with all of us. So I profusely thank Sister Lakshmi and Karthik for that. And talking about Uncle, he's such a great man. I want to say that, I mean, if we have Anil Kumar Uncle for Puttaparthi, I would say our Pappu Sastry Uncle is for all of us here in America. Such a knowledgeable man, but at the same time, very, very humble person, such a humility. And the amazing thing that I used to look up at Uncle is he's a straightforward person. He will never, even to own our own beloved Swami, he's very straightforward. He'll tell Swami, you said this, that's why I did that. He's very straightforward. He's never gets scared for anybody. If, as a matter of fact, when he's not scared for Swami, because he follows the truth. Whatever Swami says, he was just following his what do you call his teachings. Today I read in the WhatsApp that since Swami asked Swami asked some students, "Do you know what you mean by Padaka Puja?" And everybody said, "Oh, holding onto your feet, doing some abhishekam, this and that, all kinds of things." But Swami finally said, "No, that is not called Padaka Puja. Whoever follows my footpath, they are the one. That is called real Padaka Puja." So likewise, I just thought about Uncle. He was an exemplary example for that. He just followed whatever Swami said. So there are numerous things that used to speak, and we used to admire his talk. And I'm so glad that every week Karthika recorded it, which will be a big boon for all of us to listen whenever we need. Though we miss Uncle very badly, but his presence will be felt through his talks and all his dialogues that he spoke. We are really fortunate, though we were not in Kansas. Because we lived in Kansas, we got this opportunity. Wherever we were able to listen to Uncle. And we really thank again Sister Lakshmi and Karthik for that. And so Swami and also Uncle sent a book for us. And I'm so proud to tell you, always he addressed me as his daughter Jayanti, daughter Jayanti. The book also he has written that. I'm really fortunate to get that kind of a word from Uncle. I know very well that he loves us so much, and I'm so happy that last Friday
Greetings, New Year greetings.
he also sent New Year greetings. He has been in contact with us in the email. He has sent New Year greetings for us this year. Plus, last week when I spoke, initially he was there, which made my day. I was so happy that Swami was able, Uncle was able to participate and listen to our talk at least for some time. And past few weeks we couldn't attend the satsang, and I felt very bad. But and today when I heard the news, it was really shattered just now. But the thing is, I'm so happy that Uncle was with us all this time. So we should be grateful for that and thank Swami for that. And as my husband mentioned, by following his teachings, definitely that will be the real gratitude to Uncle for all the energy that he spent. We should ponder over that, and whichever is possible for us, we have to put that into practice and try to work on that. That is the thing that I learned today. It's really, really very sad because every Thursday around this time, he was the one who used to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, we are missing.
He remembered the birthdays and special occasions like anniversaries. And very sweetly, he, wishes us so beautifully. And his soft voice and, very, very, fatherly, he was a big father for all of us, no doubt about it. Jai Sai Ram.
Yeah, a real godfather. Yeah. Thank you for the
Thank you for
opportunity. No doubt he is very happy over there with Swami. And we are very positive that he will be blessing all of us, whomever he knows. And the students are really, truly blessed to be under his guidance in the college.
Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you, Sister Padmaja. May Swami give you all, the whole family, the strength to bear with this irreparable loss. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Thank you so much, Jayanti Auntie and Mohan Uncle, for your touching words on Sastry Uncle. Let's see. Let me see who could speak next. I see Ramesh Uncle is on the line. Would you like to share a few words, Sai Ram?
Sai Ram. I had the opportunity to interact with Pappu Sastry Uncle recently. Though I didn't know him personally for a long time, even in that brief time, I was deeply touched by his clarity of thought, sharp analysis, and command over the language, and above all, his unwavering devotion to the Swami. I began attending the study circle only in 2025. And though my association as a brief, and I was fortunate to participate in a few recent Zoom study circle sessions. His discourses and the way he responds to participants' questions are truly inspiring and rooted in deep understanding and lived experience. His presence reflected the life guidance by purpose, discipline, and faith. While his news come as a while this news came as a surprise, I see this his attainment of Swami Sannidhi as a fulfillment of the devoted spiritual journey. I offer my heartfelt prayers and gratitude for his guidance and inspiration he has left with me, with all of us. My sincere condolence to his family members and prayers that Swami grant them strength and peace during this time. Sai Ram.
Sai Raama. Thank you so much, Ramesh Uncle, for your wonderful words. Let's see. Kiranmai, would you like to share a few words on Sastry Uncle Sai Ram?
Sai Ram. I deeply saddened to hear about the passing of Sastry Uncle. My heartfelt condolences to the family. So may his soul rest in peace. I really missing him in study every week study circle. He has immense knowledge about every topic in study circle. So for the youngest generation, we should learn a lot from him by listening his experiences, his thoughts, and everything. So I really miss him in study circle. May his soul rest in peace.
Sai Ram, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful thoughts, Kiranmai. Let's see. I think we have a couple more people who could be sharing their thoughts. Let's see. I see there's someone named Somu and Hamsa that joined. Would you like to share your thoughts, Sai Ram? Oh, and I also see that Brother Anant Srinivas has joined. Sai Ram, Brother Anant, would you like to share a few thoughts on Sastry Uncle? Sai Ram?
Sairam, Sairam Karthik,
Sai Ram.
Sairam everyone. This morning Lakshmi auntie sent the message about uncle's merger with Swami, and in some sense I'm grateful to Lakshmi auntie and Karthik for these satsangs that I actually got to know, like got to talk to uncle and listen to uncle through these satsang sessions. But our connection goes long way back with our family, with my great uncle who worked with him in IISc, and my other uncle who was his PhD student. And once uncle moved to the US, they all had gathered around, and having known how closely Sir has worked, Shastri Uncle has worked with Swami and was instrumental in Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning coming up. There were so many satsangs that my uncle and others have attended and they have benefited. So I had heard all this while I was a PhD student in Parthi, and suddenly on one of the Thursday satsangs, I saw in the Zoom list that it's written Shastri Pappu, and I was like, is this the same person that I'm going to talk to? And then I checked with him and I spoke to him, and it was such an amazing conversation. And I also got to read a few chapters of Uncle's book, and he has very wonderfully outlined not just his experiences but his thoughts. And even 2 to 3 days back, when Padmaja ma'am, I contacted her, she was gracious enough to give a phone to uncle, and of whatever he could recollect from his conversations, he just made one sentence, and I think I'll carry it for rest of my life as Swami's message. And Uncle told me 2 days back that meditation is everything. So, and his book is also about meditations. So, I think that was message that Swami was trying to give. And on this holy Uttarayanam beginning day, Uncle merged with Swami, and we pray for his eternal peace. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And I also thank Padmaja Aunty for allowing me to talk to Uncle a few days back. Thank you so much.
Sai Ram, Brother Anand, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful thoughts and your experience with Sastry Uncle. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Let's see.
Sai Ram Karthik, I also wanted to let you know that isn't it amazing? He just took leave on a Thursday, Swami's day.
Thursday, and
Amazing.
it's amazing, the Uttarayana day. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
Yes, sister.
That's very true.
Yeah. It's all Swami's plan.
Absolutely.
Divine plan. Yes, yes.
Let's see. Would anyone else like to share their thoughts share their condolences or any experiences or thoughts they have on Sastry Uncle? Sai Ram? Please feel free to unmute.
Sai Ram, can I share a few things?
Yes, please do, Sai Ram.
My name is Sumu and my wife's name is Hamsa. First of all, we are eternally grateful to Swami for giving us the opportunity to get to know Uncle so closely. In the physical realm, I'm grateful to Prem, Padmaja's husband, and Padmaja for allowing us to get to know Uncle at a very closer level. Our experience is very similar to many of your experience. My kids and my wife and myself, very, very close to Uncle. From our experience, Uncle is one of the few who followed Swami very closely. When I said followed, his teachings extremely closely, that whatever Swami was prescribing or prescribed us to follow. And also from my observation, Uncle is a very sincere Advaiti. When Swami was going through his, or the drama that he was playing, Swami was playing his drama of he was going through the health issues. One time I was calling and talking to Uncle, and the conversation was, I was saying that, the center having prayer and we are praying, and Uncle stopped me and asked, what you guys are praying for? I said, praying for Swami's health, Uncle. And he said, who you guys are praying to? I said, praying to Swami. He gave a pause and he said, don't you feel stupid to say that? I just hold on for a second, and he's absolutely right. And he said, this is all an illusion. It's all drama of Swami. He said, follow his teachings, just one teaching sincerely. For the last 40, 50 years, Swami keeps saying that my message is your life. And now he's saying your life is my message. He's, just ponder on Swami's words and follow his words sincerely. Once again, I would like to say he's one of the very few I saw in my lifetime followed Swami's words very, very closely. So I'm blessed to witness that man who Swami gave to all of us as a blessing to watch those who do not have first-hand experience with Swami. I felt this is how Swami would have interacted with the devotees. So once again, thank you to Swami and Prem and Padmaja for giving me and my family the opportunity to get to know them closely. Thank you, Padmaja. The loss is difficult to deal with, but I'm praying to Swami for all of us to, feel the presence of Swami and giving you guys the strength. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful thoughts, brother. And I saw that Sita Rama Sharma Uncle has joined. Would you like to share a few thoughts on Sastry Uncle, Sai Ram?
Sai Ram,
Sai Ram.
can you hear me?
Yes, we
Sai
can
Ram.
hear you. Sai Ram.
Yeah. So it's a great loss, of course. As Swami himself said that this is like a game, birth and death. So people should come out of that. And Swami himself has shown us the way when Swami on 24th of April. So he showed us that every body that takes birth has to go. And ultimately, we think it is going and coming, Swami said, but it is Swasthana reaching its own place because it has come from that place and is going back to that place. So, see, Pappu Sastry Gaaru had his full life and all the time thinking of Swami, breathing Swami, telling about Swami and trying to share his experiences and the real wisdom and the real meaning of what Swami wants to convey to us. He lived his life that way, a very purposeful life, and he has reached back the lotus feet of Swami. So I expressed I know him right from the day when he was nominated by Swami to EHV, then it becomes 3HV, that Education in Human Values program. He was I can say in a way, he was the founder and the first person to chair that activity and program. And Swami used to love him so much, and he used to come in his suit all the time, a colorful suit all the time. A wonderful man, a loving personality, but he is just the same over the decades. Maybe age is catching up with him and his very sharp memory, intellect, and calling back everything just like that and telling us and sharing his memories with Swami, his experiences, mostly the wisdom he acquired in association with Swami is shared to the next generation. That is the most important thing. So may Swami grant him the right place at his lotus feet, and I offer my heartfelt condolences on my behalf and on behalf of all my family members to the bereaved family. Of course, ultimately, the reality of life is we have come here, we have to get down. It is like a travel. Swami says everybody has to get down when the station comes. So his station has come and he got down and he is reaching his destiny, Swami's feet. May Swami bless him with the greatest solace and Sadgati. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Sita Rama Sharma Uncle, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful thoughts and touching back on those wonderful days when he had wonderful close proximity to Swami's physical form. Thank you so much, Sai Ram. If anyone wants to share any more thoughts, please feel free to unmute. I'll give it about a minute or so if anyone would like to unmute and share their thoughts. If not, we'll move on to the closing prayers.
Sai Ram, Karthik, one just a last thought.
Sure, absolutely.
Just want to again remind that Uncle lived a life that is full of honesty, integrity, discipline, which Swami loved most. He had that utmost discipline until throughout his life. It's unimaginable. When we remember and when we think of Pappu Sastry Uncle, it is only the discipline and the honesty and integrity, come to our minds. And I think he's a fabulous example of how one devotee can, follow Swami's teaching so ideally. So he is an ideal model for all of us. Jai Sai Ram.
Also, he has left a message for all of us that if you want to lead a life and when you leave, these kind of messages are the ones, or the comments, or the
Really?
feelings that
Yeah.
you have to get from all the other devotees or other friends. So that's what strike my mind. Just leading a life is not important, but what a kind of way we are led the life,
Yeah.
and how example could we be for others.
Yeah.
This is what we have to learn from Uncle.
See, it's like no one knows, no one has been, no one is like that, like him. That's what we can say. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Raama, thank you so much for sharing that, Mona Uncle and Jayanti Auntie. Does anyone else want to share their condolences or say any further words? Please feel free to unmute.
Karthi, this is very amazing that Uncle took leave on a Thursday, so that this day, the same day, we'll have the study circle talking about him at the same time and go up to that same time. I'm really amazed. He's running the show. Sai Ram.
Well said, Jayanti Auntie. Sai Ram.
So true, so true. Sai Ram, sister.
Sai Ram.
Sai
Sai
Ram.
Ram. Who is Karthik? Grandma is there. Sai Ram.
Sai
Rama.
Sai Ram, brother. Sorry for the interruption. See, I'm in Patti. I'm going for darshan. Just I wanted to express my views and share my condolences with the family and with all of you. So I'm going to Mandir now. Sai Ram. I'm leaving the meeting. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Please keep all of us in your prayers.
Sure.
Sai Ram. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sai Ram. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Grandma, you can share your thoughts now, Sai Ram.
Nana, I won't be able to talk. So, yeah, you continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. If there if no one else wants to share anything further, we can go ahead and move on to the closing prayers. We will do Mahamrityunjay Mantram 3 times, followed by Samasta Loka.
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ शान्तिः स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यां परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषान् गोब्राह्मणेभ्यश्च शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु।
काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सत्यसालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितो ब्राह्मणः सन्तु निर्भया
कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ